Greetings. My name is James Lindholm, and I'm the chair of the Department of Marine Science here at Cal State University, Monterey Bay. I'm coming to you today remotely because, as you probably know, if you went to open house today, I was not able to be there. I was down in Southern California diving with 23 of our students in a class that spends the semester diving up and down the coast of California. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a minute. I hope you had a good experience at open house. And my hope is that with this presentation, I can give you a little bit more information and give you some resources to look into to learn more about our program as you decide whether or not to come to CSUMB. So we can start off right away with our one-stop shop marine science website, csumb.edu/marine science. We have worked on the website to answer as many of your questions in advance as possible. There is an FAQ, a frequently asked questions tab, for incoming freshmen as well as for transfer students. There's information on the dive program, the faculty, all the things and various elements of the program that I'm going to talk about today, and you probably learned a little about during open house. So check that out and see if you can answer any of your questions from that, and then reach out to us. All right, so the question I think on everybody's mind is why CSUMB? And I think there are many answers to that question, but probably first and foremost is our proximity to what we call the living laboratory of Monterey Bay. I mean, many of us do research and travel all around the world to get to our research sites, but one of the unique attributes of our position here is our proximity to this bay. You know, we have two deep water canyons coming up to within hundreds of feet of shore. We have huge kelp forests, we have rocky intertidal, we have sandy beaches, we have large predators, we have rocky reefs covered with fish, and we have a wide variety of marine mammals. All of this is within minutes of campus and is accessible to us both for our research, but also importantly to you for your classes. And we'll get into that in a little bit. Another reason why CSUMB, well, we are the first and the largest marine science degree in the CSU. We have more than 500 marine science students enrolled right now and annually receive thousands of applications, including straight through COVID. Our numbers have continued to go up despite the pandemic. Now, size does not alone indicate anything about a program quality, but one of the things that I wanted to point out here is one, we are a destination for studying marine science because Monterey, that living laboratory, is really a global destination for marine science. And I think a lot of people understand that the opportunity to come and study right on the edge of that bay is extraordinary. But it also, I think, to those of you who are thinking about coming here, I really want to point out that we have a strong support of the university, which is really exciting. Working within the CSU, we are well supported by our administration, and that converts into a lot of support that benefits students. And I'll talk a little bit about that too. However, despite our size, our classes are relatively small. Many of the places that you're probably considering for your education have fairly large classes, which is common in many universities in California and the country. One of the advantages of a small CSU like CSUMB is that our upper division marine science courses, many of which are listed here on the right-hand side, really cap out at around 24 students per instructor, which means, you have much more interaction with your colleagues involved in a variety of different research projects and much more direct interaction with your instructor, which in many cases can introduce you to a wide variety of alternatives and exciting opportunities well beyond the classroom. Another distinguishing characteristic of our kind of hands-on ethic here at CSUMB is our research diving program. It is in fact the largest university dive program in the country. You may have heard of it. It may be why you came to open house today. We teach classes 7 days a week in the fall and spring. So Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7 a.m., there are students queuing up for dive classes. We have a 4-course progression, bringing you from your entry-level open water scuba, the first level of certification, all the way to a scientific diver, which enables you to conduct research at other universities, government agencies, and public aquaria. Unlike your average class at a dive shop, our courses are all 16 weeks long, and you're in the water every week, either in our pool or in the open water that's very close to campus. And we have a fully equipped dive locker. You don't have to buy any equipment for the duration of your time at CSUMB. We have everything to cover you from head to toe. Many of our students ultimately buy their own gear, but that is their choice. We can outfit them for the duration of their dive time. Here's the website at the bottom of the slide. To check out diving, you can also access it through the marine science website. So one question on your minds is, are we marine biology, or is that a mistake? And no, we're marine science intentionally, not marine biology. I think in our conception, marine biology is a fairly narrow discipline, whereas marine science is a little broader. And one of our main objectives was to come up with a program that gave our undergraduates a fighting chance at employment following the conclusion of their undergraduate degree. And in fact, I think we've achieved that. So we have a bachelor's of science in marine science. There is a biology minor available, so you can have, along with several other minors. And so you can have your cake and eat it too. You can get the skills based hands-on curriculum associated with marine science, and you can do some of your biology as well. One of the attributes of the program is that everybody gets in, on, or around the ocean in some of your classes. Every class is going to attack the various challenges we face in different angles, but we will make sure that you have direct experience in your classes with the marine environment. We also have, very excitingly, a master's thesis degree in marine science in association with Moss Landing Marine Labs, which is 15 minutes up Highway 1 in a place called Moss Landing. So there are opportunities as an undergraduate to take courses at Moss Landing Marine Labs, and importantly, to participate in research with graduate students who are enrolled at Moss Landing. And it's an all-around great opportunity to experience a graduate education, or to get a sense of it, and transition directly from marine science undergrad to marine science grad school. Many of you are out there wondering, can I get out of there in 4 years? Or for those of you who are transfer students, 2 years? And the answer is yes. The 4-year degree requires 120 units, which is what is characterized as a high unit major. This is true for all of our science degrees on campus. It requires a workload of 14 to 16 units per semester in order to finish and complete your time here in 4 years. If you're a transfer student, it's a little bit more expedited, assuming you're coming in as a junior. Transfer degree requirement is 60 units. Both are achievable. Many of our students do complete their degrees in 4 and 2 years. It does require some effort, but we're here to help you, if this is your goal, achieve it. Another attribute that you have to think about, or should think about, is in the CSU system, every single student does some kind of culminating senior experience. Where I went to undergrad at Cal Poly San Luis Obispo, it's called the Senior Project. Here at CSUMB, it's called the Capstone Project. And every CSUMB student does a capstone. It varies widely across degrees as to how a capstone is undertaken. And so here in marine science, we have 2 options. The first is what we call a course-based group capstone. And this is what essentially 98% of our students elect this option. So you enroll in one of 6 400 level classes. So these are senior level classes, and complete a project as a group over the course of a single semester, and your capstone is done. I'm going to show you an example of that in a second. Another option, which is more time intensive, is called an individual honors capstone. Now, this must be planned at least a year in advance, working very closely with an advisor in the marine science program. This is essentially a small version of a master's thesis, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a minute too. So for the group capstone, and this is a graphic from our website, you have the option to choose among these upper division 400 level classes. So there are those that are focused on biology and ecology, oceanography, instrumentation, and a research diving related class. This is the one that I was down this weekend surveying off the coast of Santa Barbara with our students. What you want to do is as you've come into the program is start to think about the kinds of research you'd like to do, the type of capstone you'd like to do, and then you can think and start to schedule how you get along that track to the capstone of interest. And it's important to note that some of these classes require preparatory classes, like marine experimental physiology has a separate track, ocean instrumentation projects, and the diving capstone all require that you do a little bit of work in advance to be able to qualify for that class. So these are things, particularly as a freshman, there's no panic, but it's something you should think about. If you're coming in as a transfer, again, still no reason to panic, but because you may be on a 2-year time frame, you probably want to think about this sooner rather than later. And this is the type of thing that the faculty are here to help you with. For the individual honors capstones, they come in all flavors, and we've had many successful projects over the years. This is an example of one of our students several years ago who worked with me on a project using remotely operated vehicles to survey fish communities in 2 canyons down off the coast of La Jolla. And he was able to present this work at the Capstone Festival at the end of the spring semester. And by August, it was published in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. It was a great accomplishment. Josh now just recently completed his PhD at UC Santa Cruz. And this is not at all a requirement of an honors capstone, but it's an example of what can be achieved if you're particularly motivated. So independent of our curriculum, and sometimes related, is this idea that you can come here to get direct experience with original scientific research. And the best place to start is with our faculty. So we have the benefit of, right now, we have 5 core faculty. We're hiring 2, a new invertebrate ecologist and an education/outreach expert right now. Well, currently, we have Dr. Allison Haupt. She is an ecologist, works oftentimes in the intertidal and kelp forests. She's been looking particularly recently at the deforestation of kelp, as you've probably seen, and the dynamics of purple urchins up and down the coast. Our newest faculty member, Dr. Sal Jorgensen, studies great white sharks and their movement ecology and their behavior, and attracts a great deal of attention for that particular research focus. Here's me. I'm a fish ecologist, landscape ecology of fishes. Where fish are and why is what I'm interested in, and how we can use that information for marine protected areas. Dr. Cheryl Logan is a physiologist. She does a great deal of work with respect to climate change and understanding how animals, fishes, and invertebrates respond to temperature changes. And Sherry Palacios is our biological oceanographer. She is a former employee of NASA and does a great deal of her work using remote sensing in terms of satellite imagery to understand better what's going on biologically in the open ocean. There are a lot of other opportunities. So in addition to just working with faculty in their labs on grants that they've brought in, extramural grants, there are other programs here at CSUMB that can pay students to do research. We have a NOAA, National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration program, privately funded Odyssey Fund and Anthropocene Research Award. We also have National Science Foundation Research Experience for undergraduates, or REU. And we have a center, campus-wide center called UROC, the Undergraduate Research Opportunity Center, which also supports both scholars and researchers in doing research. So in addition to the courses that are going to line you up, queue you up to do various types of research, there are a great number of opportunities for you to explore beyond your curriculum to look into a variety of different things. There are no panics with respect to jumping into this stuff. You want to get into CSUMB, get your feet under you, adjust to college life, and then slowly start thinking about the things that might interest you. understanding that can be challenging, we created a class called Marine Science 185, Adventures in Marine Science, which we encourage all incoming freshmen and transfer students to take in their first semester. It's a 1-unit seminar class, so there are no quizzes, no tests. It meets on Fridays from 2 to 4 p.m. And the entire objective is the class is to expose you to the faculty, to what it means to do research in marine science, and to discuss internships, jobs, and careers. So each of the faculty members that you've seen in earlier slides will be coming through the class, telling you their kind of how they got to where they are, what classes they teach, so you can start to anticipate which classes you might want to take, and importantly, what research opportunities they provide and how you might work with them on particular research types. You'll then also get a wide variety of other researchers from around the Monterey Bay region coming in to talk from our partner institutions. And there'll be people coming in to talk specifically about different jobs and careers with federal agencies, state agencies, and non-governmental organizations, including the Monterey Bay Aquarium. We just completed an alumni event at the aquarium 3 weeks ago, which is really exciting. And we have a number of students working, volunteering, engaging with the aquarium. In fact, there are so many that it's hard for us to track all of them across so many different aspects of the aquarium. So to answer your question, can I do something at the aquarium? The answer is definitely yes. It just depends on your interest, and may start by volunteering. Another question, at least some of the audience is wondering, is where do our graduates go? And the answer is they go all over the place. We have students working for federal agencies like NOAA, state agencies in California, and other states like the state of Oregon. We have a number of students taking prestigious fellowships, both at state and national level. We have students who got jobs working for Apple doing sophisticated geospatial analyses that they learned here at CSUMB using a software called GIS, or Geographic Information Systems. We have students who are helping to, at Deep Ocean, build remotely operated vehicles and robots. Fugro does topographic mapping of the seafloor. Camp Sea Lab and Fishwise are both focused on education and policy. We have students working there. And we have a number of students who've received the prestigious National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship Program. These students get, I think, $90,000 for their graduate education, including tuition remission. And it's an extraordinary opportunity, and little CSUMB has competed very well for that, those positions, which are few relative to the number of applicants. And we have a number of students going to graduate schools all around the country and indeed the world. So your degree program, we will do the best we can to queue you up for all of these different opportunities. And I have to admit, I'm a dad, so I'm going to sound like a dad here. But we really encourage you to come and bleed us dry of opportunities. We will honor your curriculum dollar and give you the best education we can in the classes that you take. If you want to do more, we're here to help you with that too. And if you seize the day, as it were, I'm using all kinds of mixed metaphors now, and take advantage of opportunities, the sky is the limit in what you can achieve. We often get asked, how can the Monterey Bay area support 500 marine scientists after they graduate? And the answer is technically it can't, in all reality. If your goal is to stay in Monterey only and do marine science, there's a lot of people who want to do that, and that's somewhat challenging. It doesn't mean you can't do it, for sure. We have a lot of students working at the Monterey Bay Aquarium, for instance. But I think our company line is that if you, again, bleed us dry of these opportunities, take your education seriously, the skills you have, you will walk out of here with, are incredibly marketable. And if you're flexible in your geography, there are going to be a great number of opportunities out there for employment. So, MSCI contacts. Again, I'm the department chair, and my name is James Lindholm. There's my email address. We have a new program assistant, Ashley Clark, who you may have met at Open House. You can reach her at msci_office@csumb.edu. Hopefully, you also got to meet our academic advisor, Meg Austin. You will find that Meg is key in helping you navigate your way through your coursework. You don't want faculty telling you when to take classes. You'll be here for 20 years. We're here to help you understand the types of research and career trajectories, but Meg is the person who will help you get through the classes in a timely fashion. And we have our Marine Science One-Stop Shop website, which we strongly encourage you to check out. So I hope this has been somewhat helpful, and I look forward to seeing you all in the fall. Take care.